This is the moment a Medspa owner realized she wasn't going to upsell a single ticket treatment plan that day.
I told my friend this, like, look at that person. She acts like she's a queen there on the lounge and she's only paying. No, first the act is $59.99, right? I was like, oh my God. This one really acts like she had money.
See, I hadn't talked to her since December, and on paper things looked great. She had gone with another marketing agency, they were spending $100 a day in ads for the last 2-3 weeks. Things were great, the calendar was full, but the bank account was empty. And this is what she told me: nobody's converting, nobody is coming back. They come in acting all posh, like money is not an issue, but then they're ghosting us afterwards. They're only coming for the $99 and then they're gone. So if you're running $99 introductory offers, $149, $199, low ticket introductory front end offers, and you're noticing that your treatment room is always busy but your bank account still stays pretty empty, well, in this video I'm going to explain how the top med spas generating 100k per month are able to run the exact same offers without needing to increase the price. This video is going to sting, but it will save you over $100,000 in the next year. So let's dive right in. She said at least it's exposure, and then she called herself, actually it's bad exposure. These people are never coming back, and now they've taken up slots that could have gone to real buyers, and that is the real opportunity challenge there. Because if you're getting people coming in and they're only buying at one initial session, you're essentially missing out on an opportunity to upsell. Now I've felt that because I've also been there. The frustration of looking at a full calendar and an empty bank account. You did everything right, you ran the ads, you got the leads, you booked the appointments, but the people showing up were never going to spend the real money with you. And here's what most people get wrong. They think the problem is the price point. They think the $99 offers attract broke people, and so they either raise their prices or they stop running the deals altogether. And don't get me wrong, there is a level of truth to that, but the reality is a bit different. Affluent people like a bargain too. Rich people love a good deal, they just have to see it in the first place, which is to say that your ads have to be targeted to the right crowds. So targeting is the number one problem here that needs to be solved. The problem is not the $99, it's who's seeing it and what's it's saying to them. We ran the exact same offer for a clinic in the Woodlands, for example, just outside Houston, and the same $99 body contouring, the same price point, completely different outcome. Three things changed. First, we got rid of stock imagery. The agency of this med spa was running Canva templates, generic before and afters, some stock photos of a flat stomach that could be anyone, anywhere. It literally doesn't differentiate, it doesn't stand out in the slightest. It looked like every other med spa on Facebook. What we did is we shot a real video instead, 1 minute long, a real client on the table mid-treatment. You see, she's relatable. She is not a fitness model. Her figure is somewhat relatable, and this is super important because people respond to people that they kind of look like them, people that resemble their likeness, okay? And so she's saying, I'm getting my fat destroyed, while the handpiece is moving across her stomach. This is raw, it's unpolished, it looks like it's native to the platform, it gets disguised, it doesn't really come across as an ad necessarily, and it looks like something your friend would send you, not something that a marketing agency produced, and that is key. Why does this matter? Because stock images attract anyone scrolling for a deal. They don't qualify anyone. Look at the example of the stock image and look at the example of the video. The image is very price heavy, very price focused. That is the first thing you see. If that's the first thing that you attract with, then people are not going to stay for the education, for what's really different about your service and your approach. This doesn't essentially qualify anyone. And so a real person on video attracts someone who thinks, she looks like me, that sounds like my problem, I want what she's getting. And the person watching either sees themselves or they don't. And if they don't, they keep scrolling. That's the filter. Second, we stopped selling the deal and started teaching the solution. Her agency's ad said $99 body contouring with a book now button, such as this. That's it. The only information is the price. So who clicks? People who are excited about the price, people whose primary filter is this cheap? You've pre-selected for price sensitivity before they even walk in the door. Now the video does something different. While the client's on the table, we're explaining the modalities. Here's how the treatment works. Here's what's happening to the fat cells. Here's how many sessions it usually takes. Here's who gets the best results and who doesn't. This is education. This is not a pitch. By the time someone books, they understand what they're buying. They know it's not a one and done magic trick. They know there's a process. They know there's a package that makes sense if they want real results. The $99 is still the hook, but the video has already moved them from I want a cheap deal to I understand this treatment and I want to do it properly. And that reframe happens before they even pick up the phone. And so the last point, 3, we made the creative attract identity, not just interest. This is a pretty subtle shift, but really it is everything. Stock photos don't have identity, they're blank. anyone can project onto them. So everyone does, including people who will never spend money with you. Whereas a real person on video has an identity. She looks a certain way, she talks a certain way, she has a body type, an age, a vibe. Some people see her and think, that's not me. They scroll past. Good, they were never going to convert anyway. Other people see her and think, oh my god, that's exactly me. She's got the same problem I have, she's doing something about it, I want that. Those are your buyers. You filter them with the creative itself before you spend a single dollar on the lead. So here's the result. With the old agency approach, the Medspa was busy chasing leads, calling, texting, following up. People were ghosting, no showing. When they were finally coming in, they were coming for the $99 and then poof, vanishing in the air. With the new way, with the video focused centric approach, these guys barely call the leads anymore. We give the leads the option to self-book in a calendar, and oftentimes they do it themselves. They pay a deposit, pick a slot, they book in, show up. Texting is only saved for earlier appointment reminders, and people show up knowing what they want. And so we had people coming in and buying $2,000 packages on the first visit. This Medspa currently upsells at 60-70%, which means that for 10 people coming in, 6-7 of them buy packages. Not because they're necessarily better at sale, although they are, but because the video already did a big heavy lifting part of the work, and then these people essentially show up resold. Now the difference is obviously night and day. Even the demographics are shifted. Not that that matters in itself, but when you see a pattern, you pay attention. See, the offer didn't change, the price didn't change, the creative changed, and that attracted a completely different people. So let me bring it back to her waiting room. She's got a full schedule, she's spending $100 a day, she's got bodies in the seats, and she's broke because those bodies were never going to buy. The Woodland Clinic has a smaller waiting room, fewer leads, fewer appointments, but those people came in ready. They understand the treatment, they see themselves in the video, they're not looking for a bargain, they're looking for a solution, and found the bargain attached to it. That's the difference between a $99 offer that drains you and a $99 offer that prints money. So if you want to see exactly how we structure these video ads, the education, the CTA, the whole framework, subscribe, because we're going to be posting a series of videos on how you can master creative on Meta so that you can get appointments that are qualified, revenue that actually stacks in your bank account, and scale that you've been waiting for rightfully deserve as well. Until next time.